Hello students, today I will be taking your lecture for Pharmaceutical Inorganic Chemistry code BP104T. Myself Sonam Khandelwal, I am Assistant Professor from ITS College of Pharmacy, Ghaziabad. So, in the last unit, that is your unit 5, we will be discussing over the course of 6 lectures the different radioactivity topics. So, particularly talking about this lecture number 29, I will be telling you about the basic things which are related with the radioactive compounds. So, before moving on to the main topic, we will study about the different terms which will be regularly used. तो हम क्या करेंगे, कुछ जो बेसिक टर्म्स हैं हम उनको पहले पढ़ लेते हैं कि जो जैसे कि रेडियो एक्टिविटी क्या होती है, रेडियो आइसोटोप्स क्या होते हैं, जिससे कि आगे के जो टॉपिक्स हैं हमें बहुत इजीली जो है समझ आ जाएंगे. ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल द फर्स्ट डेफिनेशन इज योर रेडियो फार्मास्यूटिकल्स. ठीक है. तो अब ये रेडियो फार्मास्यूटिकल्स क्या होता है? एज यू कैन सी दिस रेडियो फार्मास्यूटिकल्स इट कंटेन टू वर्ड्स. टू वर्ड्स इज first is your radio and second is your pharmaceuticals. Okay, so there are two words, radio plus pharmaceuticals. So what are those compounds, radiopharmaceuticals? These are those compounds or substance which emit radiation. तो रेडियो से तो आपका आ गया वर्ड रेडिएशन. And if these compounds are being used in pharmacy, for example for the pharmaceutical formulations, then we call it them as radiopharmaceuticals. तो कहीं कहीं पे radio pharmaceuticals की जगह there are other words also which are quite frequently used. They are for example radioisotopes. It can also be called as radionuclide or radioisotopes without the hyphen. So it is simple, the compounds which emit the radioactivity and are being used in pharmacy are radiopharmaceuticals. Now the thing comes that what is radioactivity? हम बोल रहे हैं कि radiopharmaceuticals वो compound है जो radiations emit कर रहे हैं, तो radiations क्या है, radioactivity क्या है? So coming to the second term, that is radioactivity. Radioactivity is the process of emitting radiations. तो रेडियो एक्टिविटी में क्या होता है, बेसिकली देयर आर डिफरेंट आइसोटोप्स. तो जो कुछ आइसोटोप्स होते हैं वो क्या होते हैं, दे आर नॉट स्टेबल. तो वो जब अनस्टेबल होते हैं तो क्या होते हैं, दे एमिट रेडिएशंस टू बिकम स्टेबल. तो क्या होता है, जो ये प्रोसेस है, इसी प्रोसेस को जब ये एमिट करते हैं रेडिएशंस को, इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, रेडियो एक्टिविटी. और जो इस टाइप के आइसोटोप्स होते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं रेडियो एक्टिव आइसोटोप्स. तो थर्ड इज योर रेडियो आइसोटोप्स. तो रेडियो आइसोटोप्स क्या है, दीज आर द अनस्टेबल आइसोटोप्स जो कि एमिट करते हैं रेडिएशंस को. नाउ द नेक्स्ट टर्म इज योर आइसोटोप्स. आइसोटोप्स आई थिंक यू मस्ट हैव लर्नड इन योर स्कूल ऑल्सो इन केमिस्ट्री. तो आइसोटोप्स क्या होते हैं, वो एटम्स होते हैं एलिमेंट के विच दे हैव द सेम एटॉमिक नंबर बट दे हैव द डिफरेंट मास नंबर. तो आइसो का मतलब होता है सेम. तो इनका सेम क्या होगा, एटॉमिक नंबर सेम होगा, लेकिन जो इनका मास नंबर होता है वो डिफरेंट होता है. जैसे कि हाइड्रोजन के लिए देयर इज 1H1 हाइड्रोजन, देयर इज ड्यूट्रियम, देयर इज ट्राइटियम. ठीक है ना. तो 1H1, 1H2, 1H3 ये क्या है, दीज आर द डिफरेंट आइसोटोप्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन. तो अगर हम देखेंगे तो इनका एटॉमिक नंबर तो सेम है, दैट इज 1, लेकिन जो इनका मास है ना, मास नंबर है वो क्या है, डिफरेंट है. नाउ व्हाट इज द हाफ लाइफ ऑफ रेडियो आइसोटोप्स. तो अब हमने रेडियो आइसोटोप्स पढ़ लिया क्या होते हैं. तो हमने पढ़ लिया कि रेडियो आइसोटोप्स जो होते हैं वो कंपाउंड्स होते हैं या वो आइसोटोप्स होते हैं जो कि रेडिएशंस को एमिट करते हैं. नाउ दिस न्यू टर्म इज योर हाफ लाइफ ऑफ रेडियो आइसोटोप्स. तो हाफ लाइफ क्या है, it is defined as the time required for a radioactive isotope to decay to 1/2 of its original value. For example, अगर एक radioactive isotope है उसका हमने 1 जो है क्वांटिटी ली है, तो कितनी देर में it is decay to its half, मतलब तो इसकी ओरिजिनल वैल्यू क्या हो गई, 1. 1 is your original value और हाफ क्वांटिटी क्या हो गई, हाफ क्वांटिटी हो गई कि वो टाइम पीरियड जिसमें वो 1 से हाफ हो रहा है, तो इसमें ये कितना टाइम रिक्वायर्ड है. So this time required is known as half life of radioisotopes, जिसको हम डिनोट करते हैं T half से. किसे डिनोट करते हैं, T half से. Now second is next term is your atomic number. Atomic number, as you all know, it is equal to the number of protons present in the nucleus of its atom. किसी भी एटम के न्यूक्लियस में कितने प्रोटॉन्स प्रेजेंट हैं उसको हम उसका एटॉमिक नंबर बोलते हैं. And mass number is the sum of protons as well as that of the neutrons. तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं, उसका mass number. Now radioactive substances. So radioactive substances क्या होते हैं, basically जैसे कि एक photographic plate होती है, तो they have a property of emitting rays और particles जो इस photographic plate को क्या करते हैं, affect करते हैं. सो देर आर ऑलमोस्ट 40 जो है रेडियो एक्टिव एलिमेंट्स जो हैं, दे आर नोन. इनको हम डिफरेंट जो है सीरीज में अरेंज करते हैं. दैट आर यूरेनियम सीरीज, थोरियम सीरीज एंड एक्टीनियम सीरीज. तो जो ये एलिमेंट्स हैं दे आर नोन एज द रेडियो एक्टिव बिकॉज दे आर अनस्टेबल. So as they are unstable, so they undergo decomposition along with the emission of radiations or rays. As I told you before, because they are the unstable so what they do to come into a stable form, they emit the radiations. So what are these radiations? These radiations or rays which are emitted, it can be alpha rays, beta rays or gamma rays. We will be individually learning about all these three radiations, that what are their properties, what are their uses. Okay. So any nuclide which is not radioactive in nature is regarded as stable. तो कोई भी ऐसा जो रेडियो न्यूक्लियाइड है जो कि स्टेबल है तो वो क्या होगा, it will not emit the radiations and they possess appropriate energy. And those nuclides which undergo spontaneous nuclear change to attain stability by emitting radiations are known as radionuclides or radioisotopes. So I am continuously telling you about this term, that radionuclides or radioisotopes. So what is this? Suppose this is your nucleus, it is your nucleus and it is not stable, okay, it is not stable. So what is happening? To come to a stable state, it emits rays, it can be alpha, it can be beta or it can be gamma. तो ये न्यूक्लियस जो है ये क्या कर रहा है, रेडिएशंस को या रेस को जो है क्या कर रहा है, एमिट कर रहा है. तो ये अल्फा जो है एक स्टेप में उसने अल्फा रेस को एमिट किया एंड इट कैन एमिट बीटा ऑल्सो. तो क्या होता है, बाय एमिटिंग दिस रेडिएशन इट कम्स टू अ स्टेबल फॉर्म. I will be telling you about the different examples of the compounds which are radioactive in nature and how do they emit different radiations. So what is radioactivity? So again this term comes, that what is radioactivity? So I have told you that the nucleus or the radionuclides which are not stable, they undergo the emission of different rays to come to a stable form. So because of this nuclear instability, they exhibit this phenomena which is known as the radioactivity. So what happens when they emit radiation? So during emission there is certain amount of the energy which is lost and which it is lost out of the unstable nucleus of an atom. So if there is one stable nucleus, तो एक जो stable nucleus होता है उसमें टू टाइप्स के जो इम्पॉर्टेंट फोर्स होते हैं, दे प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. एक तो होता है आपका इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक और जो पावरफुल फोर्सेस हैं अट्रैक्शन के. सो बोथ ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, दैट इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक एंड पावरफुल फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, व्हाट रोल दे डू प्ले? दे कीप द न्यूक्लियस टुगेदर, ओके, दे कीप इट इन अ स्टेबल फॉर्म. When these two forces are considered extremely strong in the natural environment, so ये दोनों जो forces हैं they are really very strong. So the chance of encountering instability increases as the size of the nucleus increases, because the mass of the nucleus becomes a lot when concentrated. So what happens? suppose there is a nucleus which is very large in size, because of that large in size the mass of the nucleus will also be quite high. So, what happens that it gets concentrated, in the nucleus. So, what happens, it becomes unstable. So, because of this instability, what happens, they emit the radiations. This is the reason that why the certain compounds like plutonium, these are uranium, these isotopes, they are extremely unstable and they undergo the phenomena of radioactivity. So, discovery of radioactivity, there is a very interesting story behind this, that how the radioactivity was discovered by the scientist Becquerel. So, what happened, actually he was as usual working in his lab. So, one day what he did, that he took a photographic plate and just wrapped it in black paper. So that the reason of packing it was that कि sunlight जो है उस तक पहुँच ना पाए, so that the sunlight could not reach it. Then what he did, he then placed the crystals of the uranium salt on the top of the wrapped plates, and the whole setup, this whole uranium crystals along with the wrapped plate, he kept it outside in the sun. He kept it outside in the sun, and then what happened, when he developed the plates, that photographic plates, he saw the outline of the crystals. तो क्या हुआ, जब उसने उसको फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट को डेवलप किया तो फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट पे उसने देखा कि जो यूरेनियम का क्रिस्टल जो उसके ऊपर रखा था, उसकी जो आउटलाइन है वो उसके ऊपर क्या हुआ, आ गई फोटोग्राफिक प्लेट के ऊपर. सो व्हाट ही डिड, he repeated the experiment with other different items, like he then kept coins, different cutout of the metal shapes, just to see that whether he is able to produce the outlines of those shapes or not. So, he repeated the experiment and he saw that the outline was clearly, it was visible and it was properly coming on the photographic plate. So, he took this as an evidence that his idea was correct, because he was thinking that this uranium salts, they have a phosphorescent property. So, he thought, yes, this is an evidence, it will work as an evidence that the uranium salts, what they do, they absorb sunlight and they emit the penetrating radiation which was similar to X-rays, because X-rays were discovered prior to that of the radioactivity. So, he could relate his experiment to that of the X-rays. So, during this course of experiments that he was doing, what happened, then he thought that he should further confirm this thing. So, he planned to continue his experiments, but what happened, he was continuing all these studies in Paris. So, what happened, because of the cloudy weather for next several days, because it was late February and as per the climate of that country, it was not clear, the days were not sunny, so it was cloudy. So, he thought that now that there is no sun, though, so the uranium salts, they will not give the image on the photographic plate. So, what he did, he just opened a drawer of his table and whole setup, he kept it inside the drawer and just closed it. Okay. So, what he thought, that now there will be no image, because what his prior experiments told was ki, that there has to be sunlight, then only the image could be developed. So, he thought, as of now, as he has kept all these things in a drawer, there will be no image. But to his surprise, what happened, the image were more clear than before. So, this was the story behind the how the radioactivity was discovered. So, what are the radiopharmaceuticals? As I told you, it consists of two words, that is radio plus pharmaceuticals. So, the pharmaceutical formulations, there are different pharmaceutical formulations that consist radioactive substances, and what are their uses? That can be used for diagnosis or for the therapy purpose. So, these as these radioactive material, they are quite not easy to use, and there are different protocols which are to be followed before using them and producing them. So, there has to be some approved and authorized laboratory. So, in our country, the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, that is AERB of India, They regulate the use of the radioactive materials, their safe handling and their products by the trained and the authorized personnel. So, you cannot use any radioactive compounds without their prior approval by the AERB of India. So, what are the units of radioactivity? So, as we measure height in inches and in centimeters and so on. So, the radioactivity, it is also a physical unit. So, we have to measure it. So, in international system, that is in the SI, the unit of radioactivity is 1 nuclear transmutation per second, and it is expressed as becquerel BQ, because he was the one who discovered the radioactivity. So, in the honor of his studies, the unit of the radioactivity is being named after him, after the scientist Henry Becquerel. Previously, this unit was not being used. The Curie, the unit was used, which was named after the scientist Madame Marie Curie and Pierre Curie. They were the pioneers who studied the phenomena of radioactivity. But as of now, the units that are being used are international system, that is SI. Curie is being represented by CI. Okay. So, 1 Ci, it is the number of disintegration which is emanating from 1 gram of radium, that is radium 226, and it is equal to 3.7 into 1010 becquerel. Okay. So, what are we using the unit? The unit is BQ, that is becquerel. So, the becquerel BQ, it is the SI unit and it is derived unit of radioactivity, as being it is derived from the Curie, that is Ci. So, how do we define the 1 becquerel? 1 becquerel, it is defined as the activity of quantity of radioactive material in which 1 nucleus decays per second. Okay. So, the activity of a source is measured in BQ. So, what is half life? In the first slide itself, I told you the basic definition, and it included half life period also. So, now in this particular slide, we will be studying about what is the base actually half life period. This half life period is also being used for other pharmaceutical preparations also, to study about their stability. So, the half life period, it is the time in which a given quantity of a radionuclide decays to half of its initial value, and it is termed as half life. Formula for half life in exponential decay is Nt half is equal to 1 upon 2 N naught. So, what is N naught? Suppose N naught is your initial quantity. Okay. Whatever the radioactive compound that you are taking, this N naught is the initial quantity. And what is Nt half? Nt half is the quantity of the compound that is remaining after the half life. Okay. So, N naught, it is the initial quantity of the substance that will decay. This quantity, it can be measured in grams, moles or number of atoms, etc. What is Nt? Nt, it is the quantity that still remains and it has not yet decayed after a time t. तो कुछ टाइम t के बाद जो हमारे जो डिके नहीं हुआ है उसको हम रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं Nt से. Nt हाफ, इट इज़ द हाफ लाइफ ऑफ द डिकेइंग क्वांटिटी. तो t हाफ क्या है? ये हमारा हाफ लाइफ है. जो भी कंपाउंड हमारा डिके हो रहा है उसको हम रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं t हाफ से. तो इसका मतलब ये होता है हाफ लाइफ पीरियड का कि वो टाइम जिसके बाद में जो रेडियो न्यूक्लियाइड है वो अपनी इनिशियल वैल्यू का हाफ हो जाएगा, तो उस टाइम पीरियड को हम क्या बोलेंगे? टी हाफ. और ये टी हाफ जो है हम अदर फार्मास्यूटिकल प्रिपरेशंस के लिए भी यूज करते हैं टू स्टडी अबाउट देयर स्टेबिलिटी. So now what is radioactive decay? In the previous slide वी स्टडीड कि जो है हाफ लाइफ जो है रेडियो एक्टिव डिके जो होता है उसके बाद में जो हाफ क्वांटिटी है या टाइम पीरियड जिसमें वो हाफ हो रहा है उसको हम टी हाफ बोलते हैं. सो व्हाट इज दिस रेडियो एक्टिव डिके? So whatever they are the substances, they are made of atoms. So this is a basic concept of chemistry, and these atoms they contains electrons which are around like outside, and the nucleus it is in the middle. So and the nucleus it consists of protons and neutrons, and it is extremely small. So in some types of atoms the nucleus it's not stable, it is unstable, and it decays into a more stable atom, and this radioactive decay is quite spontaneous. Spontaneous means it is quite fast. So when an unstable nucleus decays, there are three ways that it can do so. Either it can give out an alpha particle which is represented by alpha, a beta particle which is represented by B, and a gamma ray by gamma symbol, okay, this gamma. So in the coming slides we will be studying about their properties and their uses. So this is diagram, this simply shows how the radioactive decay is actually taking place. So suppose this is your radioactive atom, and then it emits some radiations, and during the course of emitting radiations some amount of the energy is also lost, and it also emits some particle, because whenever a decay is taking place in a radioactive compound, it would also lead to a formation of a one or the other particle. It can be alpha, beta or gamma. So first is alpha particle. Alpha particle, these are those rays or particles, and they have very low penetrating power. It means they cannot penetrate. So they have positive charge and they can be detected by a strong magnetic field. It carries 2 positive charge, it has a mass of 4 atomic mass unit. Heavy metals, they have the capacity to emit such type of rays. These rays are ionizing radiations. In the next lectures we will be studying about what are ionizing and non-ionizing radiations, and all alpha particles almost they have the same energy. And the penetrating power of alpha rays is very less as compared to that of beta or gamma, and because of this property it cannot be used for the biological applications, because they cannot penetrate the tissue. They cannot even penetrate our outer layer of our skin. So that is why they are not being used for any diagnostic purpose. The example of the alpha particles are uranium 238, thorium 227 and plutonium 238. So radioactive compounds, whatever, whenever we are giving the examples, we always use their number, okay. So uranium 238, thorium 227, just to mention that what isotope we are actually talking about. So alpha decay of uranium 238, it is uranium 23892, it is a parent nucleus, and during the course of decay what happens, it emits helium, that is 2He4. This is your alpha particle, and it also forms daughter nucleus, that is thorium 90-34. So this helium, it is your alpha particle, and these blue and pink color, what they are denoting? They are denoting their protons and neutrons. Next is your beta particle. Beta particle is also being referred to as negatron because they are negative in charge. So these rays, as compared to that of the alpha rays, they have good penetrating power. They have negative charge, that is 1 unit. Ionizing power of beta particle is less than that of the alpha. Alpha particles, they cannot penetrate but they can ionize, but the beta particle, their ionizing power is less but they can penetrate. They are emitted from a radioactive material after a beta decay. Example of beta emitters are carbon 14, phosphorus 32 and nickel 63. It shows your carbon and it is being decayed into a beta particle, as well as it is forming one electron also. Gamma particle, Gamma particle, they have a very high penetrating capacity and they do not carry any charge. Their ionization capacity is very poor and they are produced from a radioactive material after gamma decay. Examples of the gamma emitters, they are the iodine 131 and cesium 137. Next is positron. So, what are positron? Positron, as the name suggests, they are the positive electron. They are positively charged subatomic particle and the mass and the magnitude of charge is same as that of the electron. So, how are these positrons are formed? When the collision take place between a low energy positron and a low energy electron, it results in the formation of two or more gamma rays photon, and this is known as the electron positron annihilation. So, these are the two main process of production of positron after the radioactive decay and the pair production. The interaction between the energetic photons with an atom in a material is known as the pair production. So, positron is basically it is same as that of the electron, but they are the positively charged, and the process which we used for the pair production, it is the collision of a low energy positron and a low energy electron. And how was this positron was discovered? It was discovered by the scientist Carl D. Anderson in the year 1932, and we represent it by as E plus or beta plus. It is also being known as an antiparticle, anti-electron. We also call it as anti-electron or anti-particle, because electron, what are they? They are negatively charged, but positron is similar to that of electron, but they are positive charge and electrons are negative charge. So, we represent electron as E minus and we are representing positron as E plus. So, there is a difference in the charge. So, its mass is same as that of the mass of an electron. So, this shows your positron. For example, there it is interaction with the atom, there is your positron, there is your electron, and what is happening? Pair production by the when the X rays or gamma rays, they are what they are radiated with. So, it leads to the pair production, which we call it as the annihilation process. Now, the next is your K capture. So, we have studied about alpha rays, beta, gamma, positron, and the last one is your K capture. So, what is K capture? In this form of a decay, a proton, it captures an electron orbiting in the innermost K shell. तो क्या होगा, जो प्रोटोन है वो एक इनरमोस्ट शेल में, दैट इज K शेल में जो इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है उसको कैप्चर कर लेता है. सो प्रोटॉन it captures the electron from K shell and it leads to the formation of neutron and X-ray. It is known as K capture because that is they are capturing the electrons from the innermost K shell. That is why it is also known as the K capture. The proton, it becomes a neutron and the electromagnetic radiation is given out. So, this process is called as the electron capture decay and it sometimes it is also being referred to as the K capture. So, after this has taken place, there will be an electron missing from the K shell, क्योंकि K shell से तो electron capture कर लिया, तो एक electron जो है वो वहाँ से miss out होगा. So, what will happen? The other electrons in the other shell, they will move to fill the vacancy. So, while doing so, what happens? They emit the X-rays. Okay. So, now this is the comparative table of properties for alpha particle, beta particle and gamma particle. Helium nucleus consists of 2 protons and 2 neutrons. They are electrons, basic, elementary in all atoms, and they are electromagnetic waves. You can see the two important thing is ionizing power and the penetration power. Alpha particle, they are highest in ionizing but lowest in penetration, while the gamma, they have very less ionizing power but they are very high penetrating power. So, because of this penetrating power, the gamma particle and the beta particle, they find their use in the biological applications, while the alpha particle, they cannot be used. Alpha, they are the positively charged, while beta, they are negatively, and gamma, they are the neutral particle. Thank you.